Coming up, volunteers help beautify the city of Pittsburgh.
We've got some rain showers out there for some of us in southeast Kansas. We'll tell you how long these will last and about more rain chances coming up.
And Victory Life Church aims to help childcare issues by opening their own childcare center.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5 a.m. I'm Tanya Bach.
I'm Chris Warner. So yeah, we actually have some isolated rain showers out there for parts of southeast Kansas. Believe it or not, they're actually going to hang on through portions of the day, but they will be quite isolated as we head through the afternoon. And then of course we're still waiting on some additional stuff from incoming systems. And you can see how this one stretches again from Minneapolis down into west central Oklahoma. Now, right now, at 7th and Range Line. We've got partly cloudy skies. It's not too bad in Joplin. 57 degrees, so another mild start to the day. We have 62 Yates Center, Chanute, 60 in Parsons, 54 Columbus, 54 Neosho, and 57 as we start the day in Carthage. A quick look at the allergy outlook because I wanted to look at this, see how good numbers were looking. They're looking really good. 5.1 out of 12 today on the pollen count, a 4.6 out of 12 tomorrow. And these numbers will only continue to go down, so really good news for allergy sufferers across the area. On our bus stop forecast, about 7 a.m., we'll see some of these isolated showers. Not everybody's going to get rain. Will otherwise be partly cloudy, 56 with a light south breeze. Breeze shifts out of the west by this afternoon, 81, still a few isolated showers hanging around, otherwise partly cloudy. Going through today, again, early isolated showers. They should clear out of here by about 4 o'clock or so. Afternoon high of 83 degrees. They'll leave behind some mostly cloudy skies for us. And then going into tonight, we're going to be a little cooler than what we were yesterday or last night. We're going to be 54 degrees for an overnight low with partly cloudy skies. Those clouds will begin to eventually clear out. But these little isolated showers we have now are not the only rain chances that we have in the area. We're going to talk about those additional rain chances and a cool down here in just a few minutes.
All right. And you mentioned the allergy count being down to 5?
It's 5.2 today, like a 4.6 tomorrow.
That's
the
impressive.
long-range allergy forecast has the lowest in a few days at a 1.6 on the pollen count. So I know there's a lot of allergy sufferers out there who have not really been able to go outdoors the last several days, actually the last few weeks.
I was going to say, I remember less than a month ago it was up in the 8s.
So we're getting better slowly but surely. We're starting to get a little better around the area in terms of the pollen count. So,
all right.
And we're getting better with rain chances as well.
We like all of that.
Good news across the board.
All right, thanks, Chris. Well, authorities in Ottawa County, Oklahoma are searching for 3 inmates who escaped from the county jail. According to authorities with the Ottawa County Jail, after further investigation, they found 4 inmates were inside one of the dorm-style pods, and there were contractors working in the rec yard of that pod. They say a door was open for the contractors, and the inmates ran out that door. One inmate was caught shortly after. His name was Rusty Reese. 3 still remain at large. Those inmates are Daniel Zelzek, Tyler Tavis, and Buck Martindale. Authorities say all 3 should be considered armed and dangerous. If you have any information about their location, you're asked to call 911. In a separate incident, authorities in Ottawa County arrested 1 person following a shooting Tuesday afternoon. Officers were called to a location at County Road 680 and 475 to assist Ottawa County deputies. Authorities say the suspect is an 84-year-old man. 2 victims were injured. One victim was his son, who was shot twice. The other victim was his wife, who was shot in the arm. Both are in the hospital and in stable condition. Authorities say it's not related to the escaped inmates. In a southwest Missouri man is dead following a crash at HH and US 60. They say a tractor trailer was traveling east where it T-boned a pickup truck going into the intersection. They pronounced 77-year-old Everett Harrison of Granby dead at the scene. The passenger of the pickup has serious injuries, and the driver of the tractor trailer was not injured. With low-paid childcare employees and a waiting list for the centers that are open, the lack of childcare has been a growing problem for years. Victory Life Church in Pittsburgh is wanting to help the issue. The church is starting the process of opening the Sunshine Child Care Center. The center will have a total of 42 spots available, with the addition of adding around 20 new job openings when the center is completed. Wyandotte Police Department gets to know its community better. The department hosted its annual Night Out event. It was a block party with food, exhibitors, music, giveaways, and a chance for residents to get to know their first responders better.
Well, some people are leery of the police, and this gives them a chance to get to know them. So they're not, if something happens to them or something bad, they know that they can contact the cops, and it won't be as scary for them.
This is the 10th Night Out event hosted by the Wyandotte Police. It happened at Heritage Acres Park. Well, on Tuesday, the Joplin Fire Department conducted a routine training. The training consisted of 12 firefighters who ran different search and rescue drills, ventilation, and access training. Training Chief Mark Cannon says training builds confidence.
The big objective was to exercise our rescue group skills. Secondary to that, guys are working on ventilation, ventilating a roof, creating a secondary door from a window, self-rescue, things like that.
The department holds routine training once a month. Well, folks in Miami, Oklahoma showed their appreciation to area first responders with a lunch. Lunch is part of First Responders Appreciation Day and took place in the Sacred Heart Catholic Church's parking lot. On the menu, hot dogs, chips, soda, and water.
You know, it's simple as saying a thank you or you know, just waving at us or, you know, something like that. We hold that very dear to our hearts.
Lunch went on from 11 a.m. to 1 p.m. City of Pittsburgh now has some more color. On Tuesday, volunteers with Pittsburgh Beautiful planted fall mums around town. Locations include the 20th Bypass Welcome, the East 4th Street Welcome, Walnut Island, and a corner at Miners Memorial. Organizers say the flowers add a little life to areas of town that people see often.
Folks drive, especially through downtown Pittsburgh, they're definitely going to notice our big, beautiful concrete urns, and they're always filled with seasonal color, seasonal greens. Even at Christmas, they're filled with greenery and bows.
Volunteers planted a total of 61 flowers.
There was good weather to do that yesterday, and some good weather for today. We've got some isolated showers across the area. We'll be 83 today, 83 tomorrow, 73 Friday, thanks to a cool front that's coming through. We start to warm back up through the weekend, but we also take a look at this forecast. We watch increasing temperatures. Well, we watch that too, but we're watching increasing rain chances as we head into the start of next week. As we mentioned yesterday, almost every day next week, there's at least a slight chance of some scattered showers and thunderstorms, and we've got better chances still on the horizon after that. So we're finally getting into a point where we're going to get some of that much needed rain. I mean, it's going to take a lot of rain to knock down the drought situation, but at least we're starting to get some.
And we need it to spread out and give everybody a chance too.
Yeah, that's what today it's going to be very isolated. Most of us will be dry, but as we head in the next few days, a few more of us will get in on the rain action.
That'll be nice. All right, thanks, Chris. That's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News, the Royals and the Guardians take each other on for Game 5 of their 6-game series. We'll have who won last night's game.
Plus, more and more states are getting on board with the idea of giving students mental health days from school.
And a new study shows that it's okay to take antidepressants while pregnant. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. More real news in the morning. We'll be right back.
Well, this week is the final week of the regular season for Missouri high school softball. Joplin Eagles are 21-9 overall this season and have just 2 games remaining before district tournaments begin next Tuesday. The first of those 2 was yesterday on the road against Webb City. Cardinals sit right at 500 coming into the evening. All defense and pitching early. Bailey Ledford at third for Joplin. Nice backhand and throw to first for the out. Game scoreless after 1. Second inning. Got Jill McDaniel doing her thing in the circle. Strikeout ends the inning. We're still scoreless. Top of the third, Eagles have a runner on third and 1 out, but look at Jensen Pickett. Perfect throw home. His Rooms makes the tag. Webb City gets out of the inning. Joplin threatens again. Bases loaded in the 4th, but a huge strikeout for Lainey Taylor. Nobody scored in this one until the 6th, but it's Joplin winning a good one, 3-2. Elsewhere in the COC, it's senior night for the Neosho Wildcats last night. Wildcats hosted the Carthage Tigers. That one went forever, man, but Neosho wins in 12 innings, 4-3 on an Autumn Kennard walk-off. Neosho now 21-4 overall, and they've won 15 of their last 16 games. Kansas City Chiefs are 3-1 in the first month of the NFL season. Chiefs had a bounce-back game last week, beating the Buccaneers 41-31 after suffering their first loss to the Colts the week before. Kansas City, they're right back in prime time again, hosting Las Vegas Raiders Monday night. Of course, that Bucs game, a lot of the focus has been on Mahomes and Brady, and more specifically, some of the crazy plays that Patrick Mahomes made, including the scramble and touchdown pass to Clyde Edwards-Helaire. Here's Chiefs head coach Andy Reid on witnessing that one. Pretty impressive play there. And other wild plays, really, that Mahomes has made over the years.
I talked to the guys, but just like I mentioned last night, just don't take it for granted. I mean, that's not, these things are, they're special. Some of these things we're seeing from him. And so appreciate them, but it's, you know, it's unique. So enjoy every one of them, but it's not something that a lot of people have the advantage, you know, that advantage of being a part of.
Kansas City Royals are about to wrap up their season this week. Royals have just 2 games remaining on their schedule against the Cleveland Guardians. Now, last night, Game 5 of the 6-game series, 2 teams have split the first 4. Nicky Lopez, RBI single there, puts KC up 1-0. Bottom of the 5th, same score. Jose Ramirez hits it deep, stays in the yard, but will score 2. RBI double gives Cleveland their first lead. Later in the 5th, Owen Miller takes Daniel Lynch up and out. Get a 2-run jack, 5 runs in the 5th inning for the Guardians, and they beat the Royals in this one 5-3. St. Louis Cardinals, they've already earned their spot in the playoffs, but still have 2 to go in the regular season. They beat the Pirates 8-7 in 10 innings. Albert Pujols goes 1 for 2 with a pair of RBIs. An RBI single from Juan Yepez in the top of the 12th was the difference in the game. Well, still to come, Iranian students take to the streets as they protest the government's crackdown on women. We got another look at your forecast and some weather trivia when the KOAM Morning News returns. Well, as has become a bit of a tradition here, we've got some additional weather trivia for you today. Get your brain juices flowing this early in the morning. Something's got to. So, we're talking about snow. We don't have any in our forecast, but that's on our trivia board today. So sometimes making a snowman is easier than making a snowball. What is it called when a snowball forms naturally? Is it a dewdrop, an Arctic tumbler, a blizzard ball, or a snow roller? Think about that while we talk about the forecast. We'll have the answer for you before the 7-day. All right, we got some scattered to isolated showers in the southeast Kansas area, and that's going to be the way of it today, associated with this boundary here, bringing us those isolated shower chances. Not very widespread, but at least some of us are getting some of that much needed rain. We've got clear skies in Joplin right now, but clouds will build in later with that system. 57 is where we are. We've got good temperatures across the area. 62 Yates Center, Chanute, 63 Iola, 54 Columbus, 58 in Lamar, Nevada as we start this day. If you got your traveling plan for the commuter cast this morning, we're going to be mostly clear up until about 7 a.m. when a few more of those showers build in. It's a low chance, but it's there. So we've got a yellow light because there may be some slick spots out there. Most of us staying dry though. Going through the afternoon commute home will be warm, isolated showers ending right around 4 o'clock or so, and then otherwise mostly cloudy skies across the area. For allergy sufferers, good news here as well because the pollen count 5.1 out of 12 today, a 4.6 out of 12 for tomorrow. Kids getting on the bus about 7 o'clock this morning, be 56 with those isolated showers and a south breeze. That will shift out of the west later with that boundary passing through. 81, still an isolated shower or 2 possible, but again, most of us remaining dry. Those showers clear out again right around 4 o'clock. We'll be 77 at noon, 79 at 5, 72 at 8, with an afternoon high of 83. Heading into tonight, we're going to drop back down to 54. Clouds will eventually begin to clear out across the area. So we'll talk about the weekend too here in a minute. But first, the answer to our question as terms of what is it called when a snowball forms naturally? Well, if you guess D, a snow roller, then you would be right. In fact, these only form under specific conditions though. There's got to be about an inch of light, wet snow and enough wind to get them rolling. All right, 7-day forecast. Got a lot of graphics to go over here. Not enough time. We'll continue to stay warm. Then the cold front brings us down 73 Friday, and then we watch increasing shower chances, maybe even some thunderstorms as we head through the weekend and into the start of the next week as well. Well, more and more states are allowing students to take mental health days. Some parents in Massachusetts would like their state to offer the same, saying children's mental health needs to be taken seriously. Bria Douglas reports.
The second year in a row, students return to class with COVID-19 as part of their routine, and not every kid has coped well. According to the CDC, emergency room visits for suspected suicide attempts increased during the pandemic. Some parents I talked to say children's mental health has to be taken seriously.
Well, I think mental health is critical. It seems to be a crisis for many, many people. And so if parents or administrators in a school or teachers in a school suspect that students need intervention for mental health, they absolutely should have the time off without any penalty.
12 states provide mental health days for students, including Maine and Connecticut. No word yet if that will be implemented in Massachusetts too, but one mom thinks it could be beneficial for struggling students.
I think children should be able to have some time off if they need to take time off for whatever might be troubling the child, whether it's trauma or something going on in the home or something like that, and they do need a mental health break.
Oh, I think it's huge. If they go to school with so much anxiety and they can't even think straight or listen to the teachers, so if they stay home and just get a reboot, I think it would be great for them.
That brings us to our question this morning. Do you think mental health days are good for students? You can vote yes or no. Make sure you vote through our website, through the app, and of course take part in the discussion on our Facebook page. We're back with Health Watch right after this.
Topping Health Watch this morning, a new study says pregnant women should not worry about taking numerous types of common antidepressants. According to a study published Monday in the JAMA Internal Medicine Journal, use of these drugs is not linked with medical concerns like autism, behavioral issues, and mental disabilities. Findings are based on more than 145,000 women and their children over a 14-year span. Researchers say roughly 20% of mothers-to-be will face a mental health condition while carrying a baby. Previous studies over the past few decades said antidepressant use while pregnant could cause problems, but those involved with the study say the quality of that research could be lacking. As we head into the fall, concerns continue about the spread of COVID-19, the flu, and other illnesses. Health experts say the best way to protect yourself from getting severely sick is to get vaccinated. Mandy Gaither has tips on how to make the process of getting all the recommended fall vaccinations easier.
It's that time of year again when viruses tend to ramp up.
It's definitely vaccine season right now.
The two most recommended to get before fall gets in full swing, an updated COVID-19 booster and a flu shot.
This year it's going to be even more important to do both.
That's because the flu season is expected to be more severe this year. Coupled with COVID-19, that could mean crowded hospitals. Dr. Barbara Bauer with the Ohio State's Wexner Medical Center says you can make the process of getting all those shots easier by stacking vaccines.
Really, there's no data to show that if you get them all on the same day, that's going to make you feel worse or, it's going to cause you more side effects because you got 2 or 3 shots instead of just 1.
Bauer says to also take time to rest. Don't be afraid to give yourself a little break after getting fall vaccines and have over-the-counter pain medication on hand that can help relieve any discomfort. Finally, start early so your body has time to build up a defense to the viruses.
Go ahead and get them, between now and absolutely, I would say no later than the first week of November.
Health experts say it's also important to make sure you're up to date on other routine vaccinations as well. That's a look at some of today's top health stories. You're watching the KOAM Morning News.
Quick check of our forecast. We've got clear skies in Joplin for now, but we'll have clouds building in later. 57 is where we are in the city. We've got 63 Yates Center, 62 Chanute, 54 Welch, 52 Miami, and 54 in Neosho as we start the day. Looking at 36 in Rangeline with the MoDOT camera. We've got a yellow light today because we'll see some of those isolated showers. Could make for some slick spots. Otherwise, pretty decent driving conditions. Isolated showers continue, but they should be done by about 4 o'clock. Temperatures look good and will be mostly cloudy from there. Kids getting on the bus this morning, about 7 a.m. We're looking at 56 with those isolated showers, and when the bus brings them back, a few more isolated showers. Most of us dry, though. 81 going through the rest of today. We're going to have those showers clear out and be 83, mostly cloudy once they're gone. Clouds clear out overnight. We drop back down to a low of 54. And looking ahead to the weekend, more shower chances, maybe even some thunderstorms. 75 Saturday, 79 on Sunday. We're back with more right after this.
Coming up, volunteers help beautify the city of Pittsburgh.
We've got some showers out there in southeast Kansas, most of us remaining dry, but showers nonetheless. We'll talk about additional rain chances and a cool down coming up.
And Victory Life Church aims to help child care issues by opening its own child care center.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It's 5:30. I'm Tanya Bach.
I'm Chris Warner. So again, as I mentioned, we've got some showers in southeast Kansas. These are going to be isolated, most of us remaining dry, but at least some of us are getting some rain. There's more rain on the way. Right now at 7th and Range Line, we've got clear skies in Joplin, but that'll change later with the system incoming. 57 degrees is where we sit right now. We got 61 in Fredonia, 62 Chanute, 61 Parsons, 59 Lamar, and 58 in Nevada as we start the day. If you are traveling, it's our MODOC camera looking at 36 in Range Line. We got a yellow light for some of those showers. Could create some slick conditions, but they'll be out of here by this afternoon by around 4 o'clock. Temperatures look good and we'll otherwise have mostly cloudy skies, so at least you won't have the sun directly in your eyes as you are traveling. Allergy sufferers, good news there as well. Pollen counts continue to fall. We're down to a 5.1 out of 12 today, 4.6 out of 12 for tomorrow. Kids getting on the bus. We'll have some of those isolated showers. Again, most of us dry, but 56 degrees with a light south breeze. Breeze shifts out of the west by this afternoon. A few more isolated showers, 81 by 3 o'clock. We'll see those isolated showers clear out again by about 4 o'clock or so. 83 for the afternoon high, mostly cloudy following that. Clouds begin to clear out overnight tonight. We'll drop back down to 54 degrees, and a quick check of the weekend, increasing shower and thunderstorm chances. That is news it stinks it's the weekend, but at this point, I don't think anybody cares when it rains so long as it rains. 75 Saturday, 79 on Sunday, a little cloudier on Sunday as well. We're going to talk about the 7-day forecast as well and how long these rain chances stick around here in a few minutes.
That's right. We got a lot to talk about.
There's a lot to discuss.
And rain is always a good thing.
Rain is definitely a good thing.
All right. Thanks, Chris. Authorities in Ottawa County, Oklahoma are searching for 3 inmates who escaped from the county jail. According to authorities with the Ottawa County Jail, after further investigation, they found 4 inmates were inside one of the dorm-style pods, and there were contractors working in the rec yard of that pod. They say a door was open for the contractors, and the inmates ran out that door. 1 inmate was caught shortly after. His name was Rusty Reese. 3 still remain at large. Those inmates are Daniel Zalesek, Tyler Tavis, and Buck Martindale. Authorities say all 3 should be considered armed and dangerous. If you have any information about their location, you're asked to call 911. In a separate incident, authorities in Ottawa County arrest 1 person following a shooting Tuesday afternoon. Officers were called to a location at County Road 680 and 475 to assist the Ottawa County deputies. Authorities say the suspect is an 84-year-old man. 2 victims were injured. 1 victim was his son, who was shot twice. The other victim was his wife, who was shot in the arm. Both are in the hospital and in stable condition. Authorities say it is not related to the escaped inmates. Southwest Missouri man is dead following a crash in Neosho. Authorities say just past 7 Tuesday morning, they responded to a crash at HH and US 60. They say a tractor trailer was traveling east when it T-boned a pickup truck going into the intersection. They pronounced 77-year-old Everett Harrison of Granby dead at the scene. Passenger of the pickup has serious injuries. The driver of the tractor trailer was not injured. City of Pittsburgh now has some more color. On Tuesday, volunteers with Pittsburgh Beautiful planted fall mums around town. Locations include the 20th Bypass Welcome, the East 4th Street Welcome, Walnut Island, and a corner at Miners Memorial. Organizers say the flowers add a little life to areas of town that people see often. Volunteers planted a total of 61 flowers yesterday.
We are a nonprofit that is around to help our city expand in the best and most beautiful way.
With low-paid childcare employees and a waiting list for the centers that are open, the lack of childcare has been a growing problem for years. KOAM's Carrie Worthen has more on the story.
I believe that the issues we have with childcare are systemic. They're much bigger issues.
Childcare employees are one of the lowest paid employees in the United States.
They have to do with the fact that there's not a state or federal infrastructure to support childcare like there is other educational buckets.
There are more children needing care than there are childcare openings available. Even families who get subsidized for childcare have nowhere to take their children. Monica Moran, director of Greenbush's Community Support Services, says there are a couple things that need to happen in order to get this issue addressed.
Number one, we have to address workforce issues. We have to pay people better, which means we have to charge families more. I also believe that we are simply going to have to see childcare as a piece of economic development.
Well, we are in the process of putting together a childcare center for the community. Been working on it for 3 years. The need in the community is tremendous.
The Sunshine Child Care Center in Pittsburgh will have a total of 42 spots available.
It is a piece of infrastructure for every community in Kansas, every community across the nation.
In Pittsburgh, Carrie Worthen, KOAM News.
Sunshine Child Care Center is looking to open in February of 2023.
All right, we're going to take a quick look at that 7-day forecast as promised. Let me get that going here for you. There's so many things going on because we're watching all this exciting rain that's on its way. We're going to see 83 tomorrow, 73 Friday, watching those increasing shower and thunderstorm chances as we head through the weekend and into next week. In fact, we've got a pretty decent week lined up for us next week and maybe even a few additional rain chances later in the week. We're keeping an eye on those. Otherwise, we'll be partly cloudy, and check out those temperatures in the 70s by midweek next week.
Well, this morning we're discussing schools allowing mental health days.
For the second school year in a row, students return to class with COVID-19 as part of their routine. And not every kid has coped well. According to the CDC, emergency room visits for suspected suicide attempts increased during the pandemic.
Some parents say children's mental health has to be taken seriously, and 12 states provide mental health days for students, including Maine and Connecticut, which brings us to our question: do you think mental health days are good for students?
And so far, 91% of you say yes, and 9% of you say no. You can vote through our website, through our app, and of course take part in the discussion on our Facebook page.
That's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour in the KOAM Morning News. A boy who collapsed at an Olathe, Kansas school gets a new heart.
Plus, Australia commits to a new plan to ensure they have zero extinctions of their endangered plants and animals. Well, the latest.
You're watching the KOAM Morning News. More real news in the morning. We'll be right back. Topping World Watch, at least 4 mountaineer trainees have died after an avalanche hit in the Himalayas in the northern state of Uttarakhand on Tuesday. According to the Neuro Mountaineering Institute, there was a total of 41 people, including 34 trainees and 7 instructors, who were caught in the incident. A search and rescue operation is currently underway for them. Video captured shows a helicopter arriving back with some of the survivors on Wednesday. U.S. and South Korea test-fired 4 ATOMS ground missiles off the east coast of the Korean Peninsula on Wednesday, and that's according to South Korea's Joint Chiefs of Staff. The U.S. National Security Council's John Kirby told CNN that the launch was to, quote, demonstrate that the U.S. and their allies have, quote, the military capabilities at the ready to respond to provocations by the North, end quote. This comes as Pyongyang fired a ballistic missile over Japan on Tuesday for the first time since August of 2017. As Iran's brutal crackdown on women's rights continues, protesters become a new flashpoint with the West. Iranian students again take to the streets despite risk, and more young people from junior high school to university students are taking to the streets. U.S. President Joe Biden warned of further cost against the Iranian regime, which in turn accused him of hypocrisy. Canada and the UK are taking their own steps, and the European Union is set to discuss the matter. Australia is committing to zero extinctions with a new plan to protect 30% of its land. The country has one of the world's worst records on extinctions. But it hopes to prevent any more species from dying out in the country with this new 10-year plan to protect its most threatened plants and animals. Australia's Minister for the Environment and Water, Tanya Pilbersek, said the Labor government had a very ambitious target. The plan brings Australia in line with more than 100 other countries pledging to protect 30% of their land and 30% of their ocean by the year 2030. That's a look at some of your biggest headlines from around the world. Here's Chris with another look at your forecast.
Yeah, we've got a pretty decent day lined up for us, even a few isolated showers out there. Again, most of it's going to remain dry, however. We're clear in Joplin for now, but we'll have increasing clouds later. 57 degrees. We've got good temperatures across the area. They're warm. Warmer than they should be, but not bad. 62 Independence, 61 Parsons, 58 Lamar, 57 Carthage as we start this day. If you're doing some commuting, this is our MoDOT camera looking at 36 in range line. Got a yellow light for some of those isolated showers. Again, most of us dry, but just watch out for a few slick spots out there. Will otherwise be clear up until the point of showers. Mostly cloudy later. Showers wrap up by about 4 o'clock today, and it's again, most of us remaining dry. Allergy sufferers, good news as well, as pollen counts continue to drop down to a 5.1 out of 12 today, 4.6 out of 12 tomorrow. Kids getting on the bus today by 7 a.m. Again, isolated showers, 56 with a south breeze. Wind shifts out of the west later as this system passes through. Will be 81. Again, a few isolated showers, most of us dry. Showers again clear out by about 4 o'clock. Will be mostly cloudy behind it, 83 degrees for the high. And then we'll see clouds clear out later, drop back down to a low of 54. Looking at the weekend, got some shower and thunderstorm chances Saturday and Sunday. 75 Saturday, 79 on Sunday. It's going to be warmer than what it should be still, but these are much more comfortable temperatures. And we'll have a few more clouds on Sunday than what we see Saturday. So here's what the future track has to hold. There were those scattered showers today, and then as we head into the weekend, a few more scattered showers, maybe a few thunderstorms. Then we head into Monday, a few more scattered showers and possible thunderstorms. And even as we head into Tuesday, a slightly better chance of some scattered showers and thunderstorms. By Wednesday early morning, a few more lingering, and they'll start to clear out later Wednesday. Then we'll be dry for the rest of the week. So for those doing some hunting, got some other outdoor plans. Sunrise today set for 7:17 this morning. Sunset will be at 6:55, about 2 minutes earlier than what it was yesterday. 7-day forecast, 83 Thursday, mostly clear. Some partly cloudy skies Friday, cooling down, 73. There's that weekend forecast again, and then as we head into Monday and Tuesday, increasing shower and thunderstorm chances, but the temperatures also start to return back to the lower 80s. We're back with more right after this.
Here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. Authorities in Ottawa County, Oklahoma are searching for 3 inmates who escaped from the county jail. According to authorities with the Ottawa County Jail, after further investigation, they found 4 inmates were inside one of the dorm-style pods. There were contractors working in the rec yard of that pod. They say a door was open for the contractors and the inmates ran out the door. One inmate was caught shortly after. His name, Rusty Reese. 3 still remain at large, and those inmates are Daniel Sajek, Tyler Davis, and Buck Martindale. Authorities say all 3 should be considered armed and dangerous. If you have any information about their location, you're asked to call 911. In a separate incident, authorities in Ottawa County arrest one person following a shooting Tuesday afternoon. Officers were called to a location at County Road 680 and 475 to assist the Ottawa County deputies. Authorities say the suspect is an 84-year-old man and 2 victims were injured. One victim was his son, who was shot twice. The other victim was his wife, who was shot in the arm. Both are in the hospital and in stable condition. Authorities say it is not related to the escaped inmates. A Southwest Missouri man is dead following a crash in Neosho. Authorities say just past 7 Tuesday morning, they responded to a crash at HH and US 60. And they say a tractor trailer was traveling east when it T-boned a pickup truck going into the intersection. They pronounced 77-year-old Everett Harrison of Granby dead at the scene. The passenger of the pickup has serious injuries, and the driver of the tractor trailer was not injured. With low-paid child care employees and a waiting list for the centers that are open, the lack of child care has been a growing problem for years. Victory Life Church in Pittsburgh is wanting to help the issue. The church is starting the process of opening the Sunshine Child Care Center, and the center will have a total of 42 spots available, with the addition of adding around 20 new job openings when the center is complete. That's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. It was panic mode at an Olathe school when a 12-year-old boy's heart stopped.
Luckily, the school nurse knew just what to do and sprung into action.
Brian Johnson has this incredible story.
We're at Woodland Spring Middle School. 12-year-old Max collapsed in his PE class onto the floor. His heart had stopped. Teachers used CPR and an AED to bring him back to life.
It's a miracle, and every time I see him, I cry.
School nurse Jeannie Brumley had never been in a situation like this on campus.
He definitely was gray in the face and around the mouth, and no pulse, no respirations.
Her training kicked in. They got his pulse back, and an ambulance took him to Children's Mercy. There, doctors diagnosed him with restrictive cardiomyopathy. He needed a new heart.
We weren't expecting that at all, and it was pretty rough news to take.
Stephanie Kachever says it was a big shock. Still, there were miracles along the way. Then, on September 21st, they got the call.
We were getting ready to go to bed, and then we had to go to the hospital at like 12 o'clock.
Max got his new heart thanks to an organ donor. In about a week, he was up and walking around with lots to look forward to.
That I get to play 8th grade year football.
Kachever says there have been so many surprises.
Just expected the worst, and it's been anything but. He's a miracle.
Whatever just comes your way, you just gotta take it. Just go through it.
It's always great, that our schools and school staff are so well trained. It makes me feel better knowing that they are so well trained. You're still going to worry as a parent, especially if you get the call that your kid's been injured at school. You're going to worry, but it's nice to know they know what they're doing to keep them safe and get them taken care of.
That when you drop off your kid in the morning or they get picked up by the bus, they're getting taken into or left in good hands.
Exactly. We've got some good rain chances to talk about with another look at your forecast right after this. All right, we have got clear skies in Joplin for now, but we'll have increasing clouds a little bit later with an approaching system. 57 degrees, so a mild start to our Wednesday morning. 63 Yates Center, 61 Parsons, 62 Independence, 50 in Miami, and 49 in Grove and Anderson as we start this day. If you got some traveling, this is the MoDOT camera at 36 in range line. We got a yellow light for some isolated showers today. We'll talk about those. Otherwise, most of us dry and we'll be looking good temperature-wise. The best news is in the drive home. Yellow light stays for those showers, but we've got mostly cloudy skies for your drive home, which means you have a better chance of the sun not directly blinding you when you're trying to make it home today. So that's some good news there. Also good news for allergy sufferers we've been talking about. Pollen count today is a 5.1 out of 12, a 4.6 out of 12 for tomorrow, and it's forecast to continue to drop. As the kids get on the bus, again, isolated showers, most of us remain dry. We partly cloudy, 56 at 7 a.m. Our south breeze switches out of the west. Still an isolated shower or two possible, mostly cloudy, 81 at 3 o'clock. Showers will clear out of here right around 4 or so. We'll be 83, mostly cloudy behind this system for everybody else. Heading into tonight, the clouds will eventually clear out and we'll drop back down to a low of 54 degrees. And then the 7-day forecast is the nice thing. We stay warm again tomorrow, mostly clear, 83. We cool down Friday, Saturday, start to warm back up by Sunday, and then we watch increasing shower and thunderstorm chances through the weekend and into the start of next week, as temperatures eventually rebound back into the lower 80s for highs. And then look at the 10-day. After this rain chance Tuesday, we get seasonable with 70s. We're back with more of the KOAM Morning News here in just about 2.5 minutes.
Coming up, 4 inmates make an escape from the Ottawa County Jail. Authorities apprehend 1, but 3 are still on the loose.
We've got some isolated showers in parts of southeast Kansas, and they'll hold on through a good portion of the day. Most of us dry, but more rain chances on the way. The latest coming up.
And also in Ottawa County, authorities arrest an 84-year-old man following a shooting incident involving the man's family members.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. I'm Tanya Bott.
I'm Chris Warner. So I apologize. I think I lied to the viewers. I said 2.5 minutes we'd be back. It was like 1.5 minutes. Oh. So some people may have thought, hey, I've got a chance to run to the restroom, make some coffee, put cereal in the bowl. And I lied, and I feel bad, so I'm sorry. So it's actually 1.5 minutes. So that's why we're already back, and it is 6 a.m. with some showers on the radar, which is the craziest sight to see. There's this weird liquid falling from the sky in parts of southeast Kansas.
Only in some places.
Only in some places. Now, today's showers are very isolated. Most of us are going to remain dry, but we have better rain chances coming up. 7th and range line, we are clear in Joplin right now, 57, but we'll see those clouds increase as this system slowly but surely makes its way into the area. We have 59 Fredonia, 58 Parsons, 54 Columbus, and 51 in Monette. Doing some driving today. We got a yellow light for some of those isolated showers. Could create some slick spots because the roads have been so dry lately. And then as we head into the afternoon, hold on to that yellow light through about 4 o'clock because we'll still see some isolated showers. But the best part is we've got mostly cloudy skies after that. So for your drive home, you don't have to worry about the sun being directly in your face. By the way, this is the MoDOT camera looking at 36th and range line in Joplin. Allergy sufferers, we've got great news for you as well as pollen counts continue to fall. 5.1 out of 12 today, 4.6 out of 12 for tomorrow, and they're forecast to continue to drop significantly over the next few days. Kids getting on the bus, again, an isolated shower possible, otherwise partly cloudy, 56 with a south breeze. Then it shifts out of the west. Will still be mostly cloudy, 81 by 3 o'clock, an isolated shower or two still possible. Isolated showers possible, most of us dry, 83 for an afternoon high. Heading into tonight, clouds will eventually clear out and will be mostly clear by the time we start tomorrow, 54 degrees, and then the weekend is what we're watching as shower and thunderstorm chances increase. I know it stinks it's the weekend, but at this point, I don't think anybody's complaining about when we get the rain so long as we get it. We're going to be 75 on Saturday, 79 on Sunday. We'll take a look at the 7-day forecast and some additional rain chances here in just a few minutes.
All right, sounds like a game plan. All right, thanks, Chris. Authorities in Ottawa County, Oklahoma searched for 3 inmates who escaped from the county jail. According to the Ottawa County Jail, investigation revealed 4 inmates were inside one of the dorm-style pods, and there were contractors working in the rec yard of that pod. They say a door was open for the contractors, and once the inmates got to the north doors, they pushed the jailers out of the way and ran out the door. One inmate was caught shortly after. His name was Rusty Reese. 3 still remain at large. Those inmates are Daniel Zalzek, Tyler Davis, and Buck Martindale. Authorities say all 3 should be considered armed and dangerous. If you have any information about their location, you're asked to call 911. In a separate incident in Ottawa County, authorities arrest one person following a shooting Tuesday afternoon. Officers were called to a location at County Road 680 and 475 to assist Ottawa County deputies. Authorities say the suspect is an 84-year-old man. 2 victims were injured. One victim was his son, who was shot twice. The other victim was his wife, who was shot in the arm. Both are in the hospital and are in stable condition. Authorities say it is not related to the escaped inmates. And a Webb City police officer wounds a dog after the animal charges him during a burglary investigation. On Monday, the Webb City Police Department responded to a burglary and assault in progress call. Officers were told a 43-year-old white male had kicked in the rear door of the residence, assaulted the resident, and then took 2 of the 3 dogs before fleeing in a vehicle. While conducting the investigation, the 3rd dog left at the residence and charged at a neighbor before charging at an officer. The officer discharged his weapon and injured the dog. The dog was later euthanized due to his injuries. Emergency medical services treated the officer. The suspect is still at large at this time. Oklahoma Governor Kevin Stitt signs a farm relief bill for emergency drought relief. The bill appropriates $20 million to the Emergency Drought Relief Fund to help Oklahoma farmers and ranchers overcome challenges created by this year's extreme drought conditions. This year's extreme drought conditions have created unprecedented challenges for our agricultural producers. And as governor, this is quote the governor, will always do everything I can to support Oklahoma's great farmers and ranchers. I'm proud to have partnered up with the legislature to deliver this much needed relief, end quote. House Bill 1006 went into effect immediately upon the governor's signature. Women gain a little bit more control when getting a mammogram at the Freeman Health Center in Joplin. Freeman's new mammography, called Pristina, is a 3D system that includes a Duetta remote that lets a woman getting the examination push the button to adjust the compression. The lead mammography technologist says this could encourage more women to get their yearly mammograms completed, as oftentimes women think mammograms are hurtful.
The option of it is going to make a lot more people come get their mammogram, because the number one reason patients don't come get mammograms is because they're afraid it's going to hurt or that the tech won't listen to what they're saying or their concerns.
During the month of October, Freeman gives away free little goodies for every patient that comes in as a thank you for coming in and taking care of yourself. The health system also has a free mammogram day coming up. And coming up in just a few minutes, our own Yana Hadula takes us to Freeman for a closer look at this new system. Well, the first couple gets ready to tour hurricane-ravaged parts of Florida today. The president plans to meet with first responders, local residents, and staunch Biden critic, Florida Governor Ron DeSantis. The goal of the White House is to help assess the needs of Florida and get the state to a place of recovery and rebuilding. Although Ian's floodwaters have begun to recede, rescue and recovery efforts have just begun in some areas. Hundreds of thousands of homes and businesses remain without power. Getting the lights back on is a priority, but officials say the task could take a month or more to complete. We'll have more on the search and rescue efforts in Florida later in the show.
All right, our sunrise today, looking at 7:17 this morning. Sunset will be 6:55, so getting earlier and earlier each day. And as promised, that 7-day forecast, take a look. Still warm tomorrow, 83, mostly clear. Then we cool down Friday, 73. We watch the rain chances increase through the weekend, the start of next week. We also warm back up into the lower 80s, but look what happens after the rain clears out. We are considerably more seasonable heading into the middle of next week with temperatures in the lower 70s. Lower 70s. It's going to feel cold compared to what we've seen, but it is where we should be for this time of year.
I like those lows in the 40s too.
Yeah,
those are
nice.
nice.
Crisp fall nights ahead of us.
Nice. That's a look at this morning's top stories and weather in our first 7 minutes. Coming up on the KOAM Morning News, it's another Wildcat Wednesday interview. We've got Wendy Powell joining us today to talk about the Broom Sedge field trial news. We'll explain what that is.
Plus, an increasing number of states allow their students to take what are called mental health days. We want to know if you think mental health days would benefit students. We'll let you weigh in.
And October is Breast Cancer Awareness Month, and our own Yana Hadula takes us to the Freeman Health Center in Joplin to show us the latest in mammogram technology. You're watching the KOAM Morning News. More real news in the morning. We'll be right back. Topping Nation Watch this morning, Loretta Lynn passes away on Tuesday at the age of 90. The queen of country music broke the mold for female singers with 16 #1 country singles in a career that spanned 6 decades. Nora O'Donnell takes a look back on the life and career of a coal miner's daughter.
Well, I was born a coal miner's daughter.
Born into poverty in 1932, this coal miner's daughter with no formal music training became one of the biggest names in country music.
Loretta Lynn!
She was a trailblazer, the first woman to be named Entertainer of the Year by the Country Music Association. She gave voice to women who felt unheard, ahead of her time in writing with brutal honesty about domestic abuse, birth control, and infidelity. Lyrics inspired by her husband, Oliver Doolittle Lynn Jr., a bootlegger, a womanizer, and her manager. They married when she was just 15. At age 16, she gave birth to the first of her 6 children, all leading to the Academy Award-winning movie. She was awarded the Presidential Medal of Freedom, but she never forgot her Appalachian roots, as she told Sunday Morning.
I ain't about to be nobody else. I'm just me.
Loretta Lynn continued to perform and release new recordings well into her life. In 2016, she released the album Full Circle, which was nominated for a Grammy Award for Best Country Album. That's a look at one of today's top national stories. Here's Chris to look at your forecast.
We've got a nice day lined up for us today, even a few isolated showers out there. 7th range line, we're clear in Joplin, 57, but we'll have clouds increasing as this system makes its way into the area. 63 8 Center Chanute, 58 Parsons, 53 Neosho, 57 Carthage, and 51 in Monette. Got some traveling. This is the MoDOT camera at 36 in range line. We got a yellow light for some of those isolated showers because it could cause some slick spots in areas, so just watch out if you do find yourself in a rain shower. Otherwise, we're going to be pretty decent. Temperatures gradually warm up. The best part is the drive home. Holding on to that yellow light for a few more slick spots. Again, most of us dry with these showers. They'll clear out right around 4 o'clock, but then they leave us mostly cloudy skies, which means if you're driving home, you don't have to necessarily worry about the sun staring you right in the face. You might have a safer commute back to the house today. Allergy sufferers, great news for you as pollen counts continue to drop. We're 5.1 out of 12 today, 4.6 out of 12 for tomorrow, and they're forecast to continue to go lower over the next several days. Now, taking a look at the bus stop forecast, 7th and Rangeline, boy, it's a Wednesday. 7 a.m., 56 with some isolated showers and a south breeze. Wind shifts out of the west later and will be 81 with a few isolated showers out there as well. And again, these are isolated. Most of us dry today, but that's going to change. We'll be mostly cloudy after the showers clear out, 83 degrees for the afternoon high. Clearing skies as we go through the night. We'll drop back down to a low of 54 degrees. Quick look at the weekend. This is where it gets exciting. We have increasing shower and thunderstorm chances. Like I said, I know it kind of stinks it's the weekend, but I know for most of us, we don't care when it rains, just so long as it does, and it is about to. 75 Saturday, 79 Sunday. Still warmer than where we should be, but these are very comfortable temperatures. Future Track shows us those isolated showers heading into the weekend, and then as we start next week, we see increasing shower and thunderstorm chances, especially as we head into Monday, Tuesday, and even early parts of Wednesday as well before we start to clear out. And after we clear out, temperatures look a lot better, which we will see on the 7-day. 83 tomorrow, mostly clear skies. And then we watch temperatures drop, rain chances get better, and they keep on until Tuesday, early Wednesday. Then after the rain clears out, temperatures right where they should be, but chilly, lower 70s. And so chilly from what we've seen, but again, right where they should be. And overnight lows start to drop back down into the 40s. We've got Wendy Powell from the K-State Extension Office live in the studio when we come back.
Welcome back. It's time for another Wildcat Wednesday, and we've got Wendy Powell in studio this morning. We're talking about something called Broom Sedge. And it seems like, you know, we've been in such a drought, like you can't get anything to grow except for weeds.
Yes.
Yes.
And some weeds are even difficult. But we have this problem plant. We've had it for a long time called broom sedge. And it gets its name because back in the early days, people would actually use it to make brooms because the plant is actually so stiff. You could just bind it up and put a stick on it and sweep out your dugout. Pretty handy. But really, it's an indicator of low fertility in our soils. So we've created this project to figure out how much fertilizer and for how long is going to fix the situation.
Right.
And so we're really excited to be able to turn out some information on that.
Okay, so the goal is to be able to apply the right amount of fertilizer, not to kill the good stuff, just the broom sedge.
Exactly, yes. And it might not be so much as eradicating our broom sedge problem, but making our desirable grasses more thrifty and then kind of choking out that undesirable stuff.
So where are we finding most broom sedge now?
Well, all of our studies are in hay meadows. We've got 2 native grass sites and 2 fescue sites, and then a couple of sites at the Research Center on Parsons. But really, we find this in any area, ditches, pastures, anywhere that has been overgrazed or maybe hasn't had the fertility up to par, places like that.
So where it's being found where it's overgrazed, I'm assuming like the livestock and whatever's grazing they're eating everything but that, so then it just continues to grow.
Yeah, livestock will only eat it when it's a little baby. But then whenever it gets big, like what was in that picture there, they won't mess with it. And it's called poverty grass by some folks because there's no nutrition to it. So poverty grass, low nutrients.
Okay.
Makes sense.
So what are you guys doing with your study right now?
So we've got several sites across the Wildcat District where we've got varying rates of fertilizer. So no nitrogen, some nitrogen, no phosphorus, some phosphorus. And we're looking at how all of those plots will turn out as far as the population of the broom sedge in those plots. And we're looking at that over a number of years so we can find out how much fertilizer and for how long will we need to follow these protocols to get rid of our problem.
When did you guys start doing the project?
In 2021, we really got some traction.
Okay.
So we're starting to see some differences now. The drought has really set us back. Everyone knows that grass has really struggled this year.
Yeah, well, hopefully we'll eventually get some rain. It's in the
Yes.
forecast, so yay! And it'll spread out and get all the areas. So how did you go about deciding where to pick and which type of plots in different counties?
Yeah, so we knew that this plant is a problem in all sorts of grass types. And across the Wildcat district, we have a lot of fescue, and over towards the west side of the district, we have a lot of native grass sites, hay meadows and pastures and whatnot. And so we knew that we needed to fill that need on, answering the question. So we partnered with folks. It just kind of depended on who had a good site that we could get to, easily accessible for us as researchers, and then how we can bring that information back to the people. So our site in Caney is really accessible. It's right on the highway. So when people drive by, they see the little flags out there and, hey, what's going on over there? So that's really handy. People can actually see it.
Mm-hmm. And when they learn more, they're like, oh, they're studying weeds.
Yes.
Yes. Okay, so I guess overall, why is it important to do studies like this in general?
Well, it's important so that we know how to take care of our pastures properly, but then it's also really important to have places for people to go that are local. So it's always easier to understand concepts whenever you can actually walk through a pasture and see the difference of, no fertilizer versus the full recommended rate according to a soil test. When you can actually walk through that and see on the ground what the differences is, that kind of brings the message home a little bit more than just reading about it in a fact sheet.
Mm-hmm. And people that really don't know that much about fertilizer, they may just think that it's out there to kill things, but it actually has benefits for the soil itself.
Yeah, so anytime a plant grows, it's using nutrients that are available in the soil, and so whenever that grass is either cut for hay or grazed for an animal, then those nutrients go with either the hay baler or with the animal. And so we have to somehow put those nutrients back. And so animals, of course, do put some little nutrients back in little piles. But when we bale, those nutrients...
That was a nice way to say that.
Don't let me sidetrack you. Those nutrients go off with the bale of hay. And so we somehow have to bring those nutrients back.
Awesome. Okay, so if you want to learn more about where you guys are at in the studies, you guys have I guess you call it a seminar, a luncheon coming up this Saturday and then one later this month. You want to give us those details?
Yeah, so we're really excited. The two sites that we've been looking at the native grass on, in Fredonia, we're going to meet October 8th for lunch at the Old Iron Club, so folks can still register for that. Call Pam at the Call Pam at the Conservation District in Fredonia. And then on October 22nd, we're going to meet in Caney and go through that information.
All right, and you can find a link to where to sign up for those on our website, and you have a guest speaker there for both those as well.
Yes, Dr. Bruno Pedrera is our principal investigator on all of this, and so he has all of the information, and he's an excellent speaker when it comes to pasture management, so I'm really excited.
All right, sounds like a good program to learn more about.
Thank you.
You can find more on our website at KOAMnewsnow.com. Thank you so much for coming in, Mindy.
Thanks.
We'll be right back.
Topping Health Watch this morning, women can have a little bit more control when getting their mammogram done at the Freeman Health Center in Joplin. In celebration of Breast Cancer Awareness Month, KOAM's Yana Hatula talked with a mammography technologist and breast cancer survivor about the new system.
Starting at the age of 40, women should start getting mammograms. However, for some, they can be an unpleasant experience.
Number one reason patients don't come get mammograms is because they're afraid it's going to hurt or that the tech won't listen to what they're saying or their concerns.
According to Kelly, women may hear from others about the bad experiences or have those themselves. This may result to women not getting the needed yearly mammograms done.
She initially told me that she was really nervous about her exam because the last time she came for a mammogram at a facility, they were really rough on her and it hurt her a lot.
The new mammogram called Pristina is a 3D system. The system includes a Duetta remote that lets a woman getting the examination push the button to adjust the compression.
They can choose how hard they compress themselves, so when it hurts they can stop and they don't have to worry about the tech not listening to them. It gives them a little bit more control over their own exam.
A Joplin resident found a lump in her right breast in March, which turned out to be breast cancer. She had had negative mammograms before, but they were done a couple years earlier.
We're all get a little lazy in taking care of ourselves sometimes. I just didn't really feel like I needed one. If we could have found it, a year before I actually felt it, then maybe we could have done something less invasive or had a different choice on what to do.
Kelly says 1 in 8 women will get breast cancer. Cook encourages women to get checked yearly so possible cancer can be caught as early as possible.
It would be much easier to have a little bit of pain for a test than it would be to have a bilateral mastectomy and go through all of the surgeries and treatments and all of that.
In Joplin, Janna Hautala, KOAM News.
During the month of October, Freeman gives away free little goodies for every patient that comes in as a thank you for coming in and taking care of yourself. Health System also has a free mammogram day coming up. You can find that information on our website. Let's look at one of our top health stories for today. Now for a check of that forecast. 7th and Range line, we are clear, but we'll have increasing clouds later. 57, a very mild start to this October Wednesday. Taking a look at temperatures across the area, 64 Yates Center, 62 Fredonia, 60 in Independence, 58 Parsons, and 50 in Miami as we start the day. Got some travel plans for today. Doing any commuting, we have a yellow light. This is the MoDOT traffic camera at 36 in Range line. We have that yellow light for some isolated shower chances. Most of us will remain dry, but it'll create some slick spots on the road. Showers clear out by 4 o'clock, so we hold on to that yellow light for a little bit, and then there's good news behind it. We'll be mostly cloudy behind the system, so you don't have to worry about the sun blinding you on your commute home, or at least you shouldn't have to worry about it as much. Allergy sufferers have good news too. This is a good news forecast all the way around. 5.1 out of 12 on the pollen count today, drops to a 4.6 out of 12 for tomorrow, and it is forecast to continue to drop. Kids getting on the bus this morning, again, isolated shower or two possible, most of us dry. 56 with a south breeze at 5 to 10, shifts out of the west, still an isolated shower or two possible at 3, 81 degrees. We'll head through the rest of the day with, again, some isolated showers, mostly cloudy behind that, 83 for the afternoon high. Going into tonight, we're going to drop back down to 54 as skies clear out. I want to show you the 7-day forecast. So we head through the weekend, we watch increasing shower and thunderstorm chances all the way through the beginning of next week. We warm up one more time into the lower 80s and look at the 10-day. After the rain clears out by Wednesday, we're partly cloudy, temperatures seasonable in the lower 70s. So not only do we get some much needed rain, not a lot of it, but rain, but we also get back to fall-like temperatures by the middle of next week. We got more right after this.
Coming up, 4 inmates make an escape from the Ottawa County Jail. Authorities apprehend 1, but 3 are still on the loose.
We've got some scattered, isolated showers out in southeast Kansas, but we have better rain chances on the horizon. We're going to talk about all that coming up.
Also in Ottawa County, authorities arrest an 84-year-old man following a shooting incident involving that man's family members.
The 4 states' most watched news starts now.
Good morning and welcome to the KOAM Morning News. It is 6:33. I'm Tanya Buck.
I'm Chris Warner. 6:33. It's Wednesday. We're halfway through the work week. Gabe's dancing. That's how good it is. It's a great Wednesday here in the studio. And man, I have got some of the best forecast news I have had in weeks. It's like I said, when Sam Lane started on weekend weather and then I took over for Michael Hayslip on mornings, it's like the both of us just brought nothing but bad news with us. But
hot weather and drought.
Yeah.
We can blame them.
It was apparently something we did. I don't know what we did exactly, but we did it. But we're finally starting to break the curse because we've got some isolated showers out there now. We got more rain chances on the way. So let's dive right in. A lot to go over. Mostly clear right now at 7th and Range line in Joplin. 57 degrees. We'll have increasing clouds later. And then we'll see some isolated showers continue. 55 Pittsburgh, 57 Fort Scott, 61 Iola, 53 Neosho, and 48 in Cassville as we start this day. If you've got some commuting to do, which it's a work day, I know quite a few of us do, we got a yellow light. This is the MoDOT camera at 36 in Range line, and that's for those isolated showers. Could cause some slick spots. spots. Those showers clear out by 4, holding on to that yellow light though. And then the good news is mostly cloudy skies behind it means no blinding sun in your face. Allergy sufferers, great news. Pollen count 5.1 out of 12 today, 4.6 out of 12 tomorrow. Kids getting on the bus this morning. Isolated showers, most of us dry though, 56. Wind shifts from the south to the west, 81. Isolated shower possible at 3 o'clock. Through today will be 83, mostly cloudy. If you're not seeing any showers, you'll at least be cloudy. Going into tonight, clouds clear out. And then we drop to a low of 54. And a quick look at the weekend forecast, we start to see those shower and thunderstorm chances increase. 75 Saturday, 79 on Sunday. I'm just so excited to tell you about all these rain chances coming up and a big cool down next week. So I'm going to let you do some news, and we're going to come back and we're going to talk about all that stuff because it is great news in the forecast.
In the meantime, you can join Gabe in your rain dance.
I think that maybe that's what he was doing over there. Something was going on. Some kind of motion, roughly like that. He says he was stretching, but I don't know. Maybe that will help bring some rain, whatever it takes, because we need it, and we're finally going to get at least a little bit.
Who says we don't have rhythm here on the morning show?
I most certainly do not, and I know people in my life who will tell you I do not. So maybe you do, but I don't.
All right, let's move along.
7-day forecast a little bit later, but first, here's Tanya with the news.
All right, authorities in Ottawa County, Oklahoma, search for 3 inmates who escaped from the county jail. According to the Ottawa County Jail, investigation reveals 4 inmates were inside one of the dorm-style pods, and there were contractors working in the rec yard of that pod. They say a door was open for the contractors. Once the inmates got to the north doors, they pushed the jailers out of the way and ran out the door. 1 inmate was caught shortly after. His name was Rusty Reese. 3 still remain at large, and those inmates are Daniel Zajsek, Tyler Tavis, and Buck Martindale. Authorities say all 3 should be considered armed and dangerous. If you have any information about their location, you're asked to call 911. In a separate incident in Ottawa County, authorities arrest 1 person following a shooting Tuesday afternoon. Officers were called to a location at County Road 680 and 475 to assist the Ottawa County deputies. Authorities say the suspect is an 84-year-old man. 2 victims were injured. 1 victim was his son, who was shot twice. The other victim was his wife, who was shot in the arm. Both are in the hospital and are in stable condition. Authorities say this incident is not related to the escaped inmates. Well, this morning, President Biden and First Lady Jill Biden are due in Florida, where they will get a first-hand look at the devastation left behind by Hurricane Ian. Astrid Martinez has the details.
The White House says when President Biden visits Fort Myers, Florida this morning to survey the destruction and meet with first responders and local residents, politics will not play a role. That includes during a planned meeting with Governor Ron DeSantis, one of the president's most prominent Republican critics.
They're going to talk about what else are the needs in Florida to get to a place of recovery, to get to a place of rebuilding.
Ian's floodwaters are receding, but in some areas, the recovery effort is just getting underway.
There's more urban search and rescue capability in Florida since this storm than has ever been in one place, in one state, since 9/11.
A week after the Category 4 hurricane first made landfall in the U.S., rescue teams continue to go door to door in search of both victims and survivors.
We want to get to those that have run out of medication, those who maybe are trapped in their homes because of the debris. Try to either get them out or to check on their well-being.
The extent of the damage is still being assessed, especially in coastal communities that took a direct hit from Ian.
Manufactured homes ripped to shreds.
Hundreds of thousands of homes and businesses remain without power. Getting the lights back on is a priority, but officials say the task could take a month or more to complete. Astrid Martinez, CBS News, New York.
Ian is already blamed for at least 102 deaths in Florida and 4 more in North Carolina. Officials believe those numbers will grow higher in the days to come. Well, this morning we're discussing schools allowing mental health days.
For the 2nd school year in a row, students return to class with COVID-19 as part of their routine, and not every kid has coped well. According to the CDC, emergency room visits for suspected suicide attempts increased during the pandemic.
Well, some parents say children's mental health has to be taken seriously. 12 states provide mental health days for students, including Maine and Connecticut.
That brings us to our question to you. Do you think mental health days are good for students? You can vote yes or no. So far, 90% of you say yes, 10% of you say no. Make sure you vote through our website, through the app. Take part in discussion on our Facebook page. All right, sunrise, sunset for today. We're going to have a sunrise at about 7:17 this morning, 6:55 this evening for a sunset. It's 2 minutes earlier than yesterday, so we're getting closer and closer to short days. 7-day forecast, 83 tomorrow. We watch the rain chances increase through the weekend and into the first part of next week as we go back into the lower 80s. But after the rain clears out Tuesday, look at this. We go into fall mode with temperatures in the lower 70s and overnight lows back into the 40s. So these rain chances, you can see, they're somewhat low. We're not talking about excessive rainfall by any means, but it's our first real chance at real rainfall in, quite some time now. So we are looking forward to it.
Yeah, that's for sure. And that's a look at our top news stories coming up this half hour on the KOAM Morning News. Yankees slugger Aaron Judge breaks the American League home run record overnight in Texas. And will this home run ball break an auction record?
And we're going to take another look at your forecast when the KOAM Morning News returns.
In Consumer Watch this morning, the Yankees' Aaron Judge broke the American League home run record last night in Texas. The fan who caught number 62 could be in for a record-setting windfall if he chooses to sell it. Experts have estimated the ball could go for as much as $2 million at auction. That's it for Consumer Watch. Here's Chris with another look at your forecast. And would you sell that ball, Chris?
I would not sell that ball, at least not right away. But that's just me. All right, quick check of the forecast. Isolated showers possible today. Most of us remain dry. Isolated showers this morning are possible again, 7 a.m., 56 as the kids get on the bus with a south breeze, and then that breeze shifts out of the west. We warm up to 81 with a few isolated showers possible by 3 o'clock today. The showers will clear out by around, say 4 o'clock or so. Again, most of us will remain dry for this round. 83 for the afternoon high, mostly cloudy after the showers. Clouds will clear out overnight. Temperature drops back down to a low of 54 degrees. And a check of the 7-day forecast, we warm up to 83 tomorrow, mostly clear. Cool back down Friday to 73, and we watch shower and thunderstorm chances increase through the weekend and into the start of next week. We also watch temperatures slowly rise back into the lower 80s to start the next work week. We've got more of the KOAM Morning News right after this.
We take this time to honor today's four-state hero, Specialist Seth Voles. The Galesburg, Kansas native began his service in 2002 in Ramadi, Iraq as part of the 1st Infantry Division. To Specialist Seth Voles, we thank you, today's four-state hero.
All right, we have some great Wednesday birthdays to celebrate, and we are starting in St. Paul with Maxon King, turning the big 6 today. Happy birthday, Maxon, and this comes with love from Papa and Grandma.
And down in Knoll, we have a 10th birthday to celebrate with Bladen Pickle, with love from the family. Happy birthday, Bladen.
And we've got John Morgan celebrating birthday number 10 in Pittsburgh. John, also known as JC, and this comes with love from the family. So a very happy birthday to you, JC.
All right, Harley Hudson celebrating birthday number 11 today. Harley is in Carthage with love from Mom, Dad, Bub, and your sisters.
And we've got Kiana Smith celebrating birthday number 13 in Jasper today. A very happy birthday to you, Kiana.
All right, and Craig Elliott celebrating birthday number 24 this year in Erie. That is him on the left with love from the family. And if Craig is celebrating, he's on the left. On the right, we have Craig's younger brother, Cody, who's 16 years old. How cool, they share a birthday. 24 and 16 with love from the family.
Very cool. We've got Kristen Segesser turning 41 in Sarcoxy, and this comes with this happy birthday wish comes from your favorite coworker, Katie. So hopefully Katie's got something special for you today. Kristen, a very happy birthday to you in Sarcoxy.
All right, Chuck Miserel turning number 66 in Pittsburgh. Hope you have a wonderful birthday, Chuck.
And we've got Narita O'Toole turning 75 in McCune. And Narita absolutely loves her garden and her flowers, and they're going to love the rain that's on the way. A very happy birthday to you, Narita.
All right, Lakin Westhoff celebrating a birthday in St. Paul today. Hope you have a wonderful day, Lakin.
And we've got a very special birthday here as Mary Holt in Columbus turns 103 years young. Mary, don't know what your secret is, but a very, very happy 103rd birthday to you.
And I think she was trying to keep this under the wraps, but we know now. Britt Stack, our news director here at KOAM. We love you, and we hope you have a wonderful day today.
Yeah, see, the people who work here try and hide their birthdays, but what they forget is their birthdays are part of our information in the system, and we have a great crew here who figures that out. Well, it has to be. Tanya made a face. It's not like it's top secret. Any job you have to put all that information in. We have to make sure that Britt's old enough to work here, right?
But we're not going to tell people how old.
No. That part is under wraps. That is our little secret. Very happy birthday to you, Britt. We also have on our list Justice Ganaway celebrating in Columbus along with Sam Thomas. We've got Dakota Rusk turning 27. This comes with love from mom and dad. And last but certainly not least, Madeline Coons in Columbus also celebrating a birthday as well. A happy birthday to you. And if you want to get your birthday on there, Tanya's got some information for you.
That's right. You can send them to birthdayswithan@KOAMTV.com or use the email birthdays@KOAMNewsNow.com. Make sure you send in all your information, including a name and the day of the birthday. And if you need it to air on a specific day, please let us know. And include the age as well, if you would like, and a picture.
Make sure you do that. And while you're at our website, checking out the latest news, weather, and sports, go ahead and click on the KOAM News Now Birthday Club. You can get signed up for that, get some special deals from local businesses, and a little happy birthday message from us. Just go to KOAMNewsNow.com and sign up for the Birthday Club. Special message for everybody. Rain is on the way. Right now in Joplin, we got a few clouds out there. We have a just absolutely gorgeous sunrise this morning at 7th and Range Line. 57 degrees. Clouds will increase in Joplin and everywhere else through the day. We have 62 Fredonia, 58 Parsons, 55 Pittsburgh, and 58 in Lamar as we start the day. Looking at the MoDOT traffic camera, looking at 36 in Range Line. A few more cars out there, even though it's kind of a little glitchy here and there. And if you are doing some commuting today, we have a yellow light for some isolated showers that are possible as we head through the morning and into the afternoon. Otherwise, pretty good conditions. And as we head home this evening, yellow light holds on for showers ending right around 4 o'clock or so. And then the good news here is we get mostly cloudy after that, so the sun won't be blinding you as hardcore as it has been the last several days. So you have a slightly safer commute home. We got good news for allergy sufferers too. A 5.1 out of 12 on the pollen count today, drops to a 4.6 out of 12 tomorrow, and it's forecasted to continue to drop, which is great. Isolated showers this morning, 56 as the kids get on the bus. Maybe an isolated shower this afternoon, 81 as the bus brings them home at 3. We'll head to a high of 83 today. Most of us stay dry, but isolated showers out there, mostly cloudy behind that. We clear out heading into tonight, and we'll drop back down to a low of 54. And a quick check of the 7-day forecast. We warm up again tomorrow, 83. Then we cool down Friday. We watch increasing shower and thunderstorm chances from Saturday through the middle of next week. We also watch temperatures rise back up into the mid-80s before they get more fall-like by the end of next week. We're back with more right after this.
Here's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door. Authorities in Ottawa County, Oklahoma search for 3 escaped inmates. The 4 inmates in the county jail were inside one of the dorm-style pods while contractors were working in the rec yard of that pod. The door was open for the contractors and the inmates ran out the door. 1 inmate, Rusty Reese, was caught. 3 still remain at large, and those inmates are Daniel Zajcek, Tyler Tavis, and Buck Martindale. Authorities say all 3 should be considered armed and dangerous. Authorities in Ottawa County arrest 1 person following a shooting Tuesday afternoon. Officers responded to County Road 680 and 475 to assist Ottawa County deputies. Authorities say the suspect is an 84-year-old man. 2 victims were injured. One victim was his son, who was shot twice. The other victim was his wife, who was shot in the arm. Both are in the hospital and are in stable condition. A car crash in Neosho takes the life of a Southwest Missouri man. Authorities say just past 7 Tuesday morning, they responded to a crash at HH and US 60. They say a tractor trailer was traveling east when it T-boned a pickup truck going into the intersection. They pronounced 77-year-old Everett Harrison of Granby dead at the scene. The passenger of the pickup has serious injuries, and the driver of the tractor trailer was not injured. With low-paid child care employees and the waiting list for the centers that are open, the lack of child care has been a growing problem for years, and Victory Life Church in Pittsburgh is wanting to help that issue. The church is starting the process of opening the Sunshine Child Care Center. The center will have a total of 42 spots available, with the addition of adding around 20 new job openings when the center is complete. That's a check of today's top headlines, the news you need to know before you head out the door.
Quick check of that forecast as you head out the door. A few of us may see some isolated showers. Most of us stay dry. We'll have increasing cloud cover, be mostly cloudy today, 83 degrees. Heading into tonight, temperatures drop back down to 54 and the clouds do clear out. And a look at the 7-day shows where we watch increasing shower and thunderstorm chances heading into the weekend and the start of next week. We cool off briefly before temperatures warm back up into the lower 80s.
All right, well, coming up today at noon, we're making crispy croutons in the Mr. Food Test Kitchen.
And of course, your morning news continues on KOAM with CBS Mornings. Health experts are urging more people to get vaccinated against the flu. Coming up, how the pandemic may impact the upcoming flu season and who needs to be most protected.
Or you can switch on over with us on Fox 14, where your only local morning news continues. And this morning, when an injured bean farmer has difficulty bringing in his crops for the year, his neighbors rally behind him.
Plus, we recently brought you the story of a Stranger Things Halloween display that was strange enough, but we've got a follow-up that makes this story even stranger.
Oh, yeah.
That's going to wrap it up for us for now. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning at 5 a.m.
And we're going to do it all again today at noon.